All right, so welcome to the show today. I'm very excited to have with me Khaleef Crumbley from. Actually, I met him back at FinCon, this last FinCon Financial Bloggers Conference, back in I think it was October of last year, not too long ago. That's about right. But yeah, you run a website called Fat Guy Skinny Wallet with your wife. Well, actually, as well as KNS Financial, and KNS Financial is with your wife. Fat Guy Skinny Wallet is more personal stories about yourself. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah, and she comes in sometimes as Mrs. Fat Guy.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. And I know you as well have your YouTube channel that you do a lot of more personal one-on-ones with your audience and stuff like that. So you're doing a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, seems like people just can't get rid of me.
Well, that's good. That's good. I think you're doing all the right stuff, and I'm excited to have you on today to talk about personal finance and your finances in particular. Some of your more personal stories. To start things out, what would you say has been one of your dumbest personal finance mistakes you've made through your, I don't know, in history, some kind of a learning experience in your life?
Well, it happened actually on our honeymoon. My wife and I took a couple of weeks in Mexico, and during that time, we sat through a couple of timeshare presentations, and we're very strong. We just got the free stuff they would give you, and that was it. And the last one we went to, for some reason, we just fell for the sales pitch, and we left our honeymoon having, a $5,000 debt,
Oh wow.
timeshare that was financed. Um, the interest rate was about 30%,
Oh
but we
wow.
had convinced ourselves that we can pay it down quickly, and it was a mess.
Wow. And so this was on your honeymoon that you did this.
Yeah, yeah, we signed. We were just convinced that we can use it every year, and it's kind of pay for itself with the saved money with lodging costs and vacations year after year,
Yeah.
um, and it still costs us now, even though we've paid off the actual debt.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. That's a hard. I guess that could be a hard way to start your marriage out with that little bit of added debt. Um, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you still own the timeshare today?
Yeah, we own the timeshare, and unfortunately, every other year we have to pay a maintenance fee, which started out at less than $500, and this was back in 2006. And the last one we paid was close to $800. It just
Wow.
jumps up every year by almost $100, or every other year.
And how much time do you get at that timeshare every year?
1 week.
Okay, so 1 week a year, and you're paying about 800 every other year at this point. And
Actually, it's the weeks we get it the 1 week every other year. It's just that we've kind of
oh,
banked them. So
I gotcha.
every year now we kind of have two or three sitting there because we can't afford to fly and do everything else to take those nice vacations.
Wow. Yeah, those are some hard sales pitches with those people. I mean, they are some very well trained salespeople that can capture, especially younger, inexperienced, first time people. That's tough. And I know I'd done a few timeshares in the past where, well, no, I didn't do time. I went to the few of the seminars to like cash in on, free, lodging. But they lure you down there with all this free stuff.
Right.
And is that what they
Yep.
did for you?
Yeah, I forgot what it was exactly. I mean, they sometimes would offer $200 just to sit through a presentation, or because we were already there in
Yeah.
Mexico. Yeah. So different things. Some of the attractions nearby, they would say we give you free tickets, for this or free dinner and a show, and so we took advantage of three or four of them. But the last one, and every one of them, there was an American who was doing the sales pitch.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So a lesson learned the hard way as far as getting caught by a good salesman. Unfortunately, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause we convinced ourselves. They convinced us, and we just went along with it, justifying it rather than being smart and really weighing all the options.
Yeah. Man. So on the flip side of that, what would you say has been one of your smartest or smarter personal finance decisions that have helped you at least?
I think I can say right before well, not right before, but before we got married, we had decided that we would always base our expenses off of my income. because we never knew what could happen. And since we've been married, my wife actually has suffered with a lot of different things. Hasn't been able to work as much as we thought. For the last few years, she hasn't been able to work, so it's just been my income for most of the marriage, actually. So, I can only imagine if we would have based our living and our cars and things like that off of both of our incomes, and then she was unable to work, where would we be?
Yeah. Yeah, that can be hard. When I guess you see big dollars and it's easy to spend money, but it sounds like you have some great self-restraint, holding off, which has set you up to be much more financially secure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're still now trying to pay off debt, but some of most of the things were unavoidable. Most of it was student loan debt, but it's still, it would have been magnified if we would have, lived off of two incomes and then
Yeah.
dropped hers and then had to go into debt just to pay our basic living expenses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great that you were able to do that. Live off of one income and move forward with that. And I'm sure that's setting you up for a much more secure financial future. So,
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
man, awesome. I guess recapping quick, your site, KNS Financial, is more of an informational site. So you have a lot more there on how-to type of things, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah.
Versus Fat Guy Skinny Wallet is much more personal stuff. So you have a lot more of your personal stories there. And
Yes.
and we talked about this ahead of time, but it sounds like you're going to be writing up your story a little bit more for a blog post as far as that timeshare experience. And
Yeah. So I can go into detail and talk about exactly what we heard, because I think it's important because we can apply it to a lot of things.
yeah,
So I want to do that. Just even so other people can look at their decision making and say, "Hey, I've made that mistake too." And
yeah. So for any of the viewers watching, once he gets that done, I'm going to get a link down there below. So if you ever want to follow up and read more of the details on that story, read it below. And then again, be sure to check out some of Khaleef's stuff. He has some great stuff. He has some great videos. I'm gonna have links to his other things down below as well. So, thank you so much for being on today, Khaleef.
yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out to me and thinking I had something to add.
All right. Well, thank you for our viewers as well. And for more of this content, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Any comments you leave below, I'll be getting back to you on for sure. Thanks again.